Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Janine Williams, and thank you so much for watching. And I just want to express how grateful I am that you have chose to watch this video. Now, this video is going to be on conscious. What do I mean by conscious? Well, you've heard that term. It's not a new term. But being conscious is being consciously aware of your thought patterns, your behaviors, your breathing, who are you being, your emotions. And so when we can be consciously aware, which is being observant of our own behaviors and our own choices, because everything we do in life is a choice. So when this was something that when I started my journey 2 years ago, I did not realize how I was being. I wasn't consciously aware. I was working off of old habits, old thought patterns. And the more I lived in those old thought patterns, those negative thoughts, even though I was never a negative person when I was younger, I became negative. Then it just kept on showing up in my life. And in my first video, and hopefully you watched it, if you didn't, please go back and watch that, because that explains, my background. I am a certified health and life coach. I work with individuals on mindset, but it's mind, body, and soul. And so I'm here to assist people back home. That's my purpose here. Back home. And where is back home? Your heart. Your heart. So, and it's learning how to live from the inside out. So creating the life that you want from the inside out. And so one of the first steps is becoming conscious. Being consciously aware and observing from that place of curiosity on how am I being? What are my thought patterns? And then when you can start observing, think of it as being a fly on a wall, and you're just looking down and observing out of curiosity. Because where there's curiosity, there's no judgment. Because we all have a choice on how we want to look at our experiences, a choice on how we want to show up in the world, a choice on our actions. Everything is a choice. So when I started my journey, the first thing that I became consciously aware of was how shallow of a breather I was. I was holding my breath without even realizing it. And all of a sudden, I would just go like that. And my husband would ask me, why are you doing that? And the first thing that just came out of my mouth was, I needed to breathe because I was holding my breath and I didn't realize it. That wasn't a conscious thing the first time, but then I started paying attention. So let me explain a little bit why that is so important and why I'm going to stress this. We have, in the automatic nerve response, we have two parts in our brain that trigger certain reactions. So there is the sympathetic nerve response, which is our fight and flight. That's when all the blood goes to your extremities. Our ancestors used this to run super fast so the lions didn't eat them. Well, we don't have lions chasing us, but we have the hustle and the bustle of life, or we have all the fear mongrels that just put out fear, fear, fear. And whenever you hear anything that is not positive, like fear, it instantly puts your brain in that sympathetic nerve response. Well, if all the blood is going to your extremities, nothing's going to the gut. Our immune system starts in the gut. What we eat needs that blood flow so our digestive system works properly, or we don't process that food and the toxins. So our organs aren't working properly. So just think about that. Take that in and just think about it. Okay? The parasympathetic nerve response gets switched on when we breathe deeply, when we are relaxed, when we're just more in that flow. Now all the blood is flowing properly all through our body, like an ebb and flow. I like to describe this as, think of the infinity symbol. You know, it goes like this, right? The ebb and flow of the infinity, like that. Well, that's how, when you're in that relaxation mode, the fluids in our body, the blood, the water, because we're 70% made up of water, and our energy field. That's a totally different video. But for this purpose, I just want to explain how important it is to first be consciously aware of your breath. If that's the one thing you want to focus on your breath. Because when you're taking those deep breaths and you're breathing regularly, deeply, not like, hyperventilating kind of breathing, but taking deep breaths where, your belly's expanding, then you are switching on the parasympathetic nerve response. You cannot be in both. It's either one or the other. So this is why this is so important. So notice for the next week, write yourself a note. Breathe. If you have a Fitbit, I know my, actually not Fitbit may have it, but my Apple Watch, it tells me, I get notifications and it tells me to breathe. So it must send something at me to tell me to breathe. Because I still have to consciously be aware of this. So that's the reason why, if there's just one thing you want to start becoming consciously aware of, is your breath. And once you can start consciously being aware of your breath, you can start getting more calm, which then you can think clearly. You can digest your food, help support your immune system. I mean, there's many different factors in supporting our body, but I think sometimes we take it for granted, breathing. So, again, come back to paying attention to your breath. Am I taking deep belly breaths? How often am I deeply breathing? Catch yourself. Are you holding your breath? And if you are holding your breath, take 5 to 7 deep, long breaths in a row, and that will trigger the parasympathetic nerve response in the brain. That'll put you back in that state. And then just be consciously aware again. Then if you have any thoughts come up as you're doing all of this, observe your thoughts, reframe. If it's not a positive thought, reframe. what would I like to experience instead? Or what is true for me in that situation, or whatever that pops up? How would I like to feel? Get curious with yourself. Because where there's curiosity, there's no judgment. And it's all about coming back here and learning to love yourself. Be your own best friend. Give yourself some grace. But pay attention to your breath. Pay attention to your thoughts and your emotions. In my next video, we'll talk more about emotions and what our emotions are a message to, because emotions are a message to us. So we'll talk more about that in the next video. But please, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Like this video so more people, and the more I do videos and the more I teach and guide, so we can help other people, because together we can make a difference in this world. But we first have to make that difference within us. And when you share this video with someone, or when you subscribe, or you like, because I'm new to all of this, so I promise they'll get even better, then you're helping someone else. Because you just never know who is meant to listen to this message. So together, we can make a difference. So thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. If you would like to talk to me one-on-one, feel free to email me. You'll find my email address down below. And we can schedule a time to talk. But I want to thank you so much. I appreciate you and send you so much love and light. Thank you so much. I love you. Mwah.